Hello everyone, welcome back to Basic Python. I hope everyone is doing fine. Okay, so the stream has started, and just to give you a short recap, what we did last time. Last time we basically took a deep dive into conditional statements. We did if, else, elif, and we tried basic test cases. We learned about the operators greater than, less than, or greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, double equal to. We did some print formatting as well. So today we'll be starting with a very interesting topic, that is looping. Looping is the most widely used concept, or we can say technique, in any programming language. Like your program will definitely have looping and if and conditional statements. Your each and every program will definitely have them. So why we do looping? Looping basically means to do a task which is very repetitive in nature, will do the task automatically. So for example, let's say that you have to print the numbers from 1 to 20. So you won't just go and write print 1, then print 2, then print 3. You can't do this, right? So there has to be a way to do this smartly, to do this automatically. So there comes the concept of looping, which means we'll keep on repeating something unless something fails or something doesn't match. Okay, so to give you an idea, we'll use our basic flow diagram only. Let's say that we input a number. Okay, let's say here our program starts and we are printing the I, and let's say our I is equals to 1. Okay, so what we'll do now, we'll see whether our I is less than or equal to 100, right? If it is, we'll print it again and we'll increment our I. If not, let me just type yes here, and no. So what is happening here? I'll start my program with the value of I is equal to 1. Okay, and I'll print I here. I'll print I here. Then I'll increment I. Okay, so now I has become 2. I'll check whether the I is less than or equal to 100. So 2 is obviously less than 100. I'll take it back here. This condition will be considered as true. We'll go back and we will print I again. So now until we had 1 on screen, now we have 2 as our output. Then we'll increment the I again. Now I has become 3. We'll check whether the I is less than or equal to 100. Yes, it's true again. Then we'll go again and we'll print the I again. So now we have 3 also on our output screen. So this is the basic concept behind looping. We'll keep on repetitively doing something unless the condition is met, or maybe some condition is true, or maybe something is false. No, looping is very easy. Okay, yeah, looping is very easy, don't worry. Who was this? Don't worry, Abhinav, looping is very easy. So is this clear to everyone? What is the basic structure behind looping? Like, why are we going back to print, and why are we printing these things again? So let's say there comes a scenario when we have printed 100. Okay, let's see, we have printed 100 here. So now when we'll increment our our I would have become 101. And when it comes to this condition, whether the I is less than or equal to 100, this condition will be false, right? So it will go here and end the program. That's it. So it kept on repeating something unless a condition was found true or false. So we'll do the same here only. And to the syntax for looping, we have basically two functions which we can use for looping. One is for and one is while. We'll start with for now because for is a bit simple and we have more control over for. So the syntax goes like this. Let's say we have a variable n name, sorry, which contains my name. Okay. So now we'll do for character in name print character. So now what it is doing? See, for a variable in name, what it means, character is just a simple character. Okay. Yeah, we'll learn about lists in the next session or maybe at the end of the session. Right now we'll just focus on strings and basic for looping and while looping. So when it see in this example, what I'm doing is for character in name print character, it will print all these individual characters that were in name. So what it did, let me show you here. So RISHAB. Okay, so when my program was running, when my for loop was running for character in name, so what it did, when the loop ran for the first, when the loop ran, it printed R, I, S, H, A, and B. So what exactly happened here? For loop picked out every single character in that variable and printed it. You'll understand it better once we have done more examples. So let's say let me introduce you to something known as range. Okay, so let's suppose I'm having a variable which is equal to range and I enter 10 here. So what it basically means, what range function returns is, so now our A contains a range, like how to tell you this, I mean, let's just do this. So now A actually contains numbers from 0 to 9. Okay, you cannot see them right now, but let's, if we print like this for I in A, print I. So what range returns is, now A contains 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So range will return you numbers starting from 0 up till the number that you have entered as a parameter. So range 10 basically means 0 to 9. Now range 20 would mean 0 to 19. It has 20 numbers inside, but it will not include the number 20 itself. So if we come back to looping again, and I'll say for I in range 10, print I. So what is happening here? I is just a variable. Okay, I is just a variable, and it will just check on every value that range 10 has. Range 10 has 0 to 9 values, right? So now I will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is what happens when we are using for loops with range. Okay, is this clear to everyone, so that we can move on to some uh, medium level things? Is this clear? Okay, superb, superb, superb. So now that we know how to print numbers from 0 to 9, right? But let's say that I coming back to our original question, that we have to print numbers from 0 to 100. Okay, so what will I do then? I'll have to use for I in range 100 print I. Now, will it give me 100, the number 100 in the output? Will it give me that? Tell me in the comment section, like, will it print the number 100 or not? Yes, it will only print till 99, right? So what if I want my number 100 also included? What if I want to do like print 0 to 100, but 100 should also be included there? What one line should I change here? Right, we have to change it to 101. Super. So now it will print from 0 to 100 and 100 included. Exactly, right, right, right. So let's say that all of us in our daily lives don't usually start counting from 0, right? We start our counting from 1. So range function also has another usage. I can mention the starting point of the counting. Okay, so if I mention the starting point to be 1, now I'm passing two parameters. Okay, earlier I was just passing 10. Now I'm passing 1 comma 10. What it means, it will start from 1 and it will go up till 10. So the output would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got it? I started from 1, but it went till 10 only. So can someone tell me how many times the loop ran, how many times the print function was actually called? This is called the iterations basically means the number of times we did the same we executed the same statement. Yeah, 9 exactly. So in this case our loop ran only 9 times. Okay, so you can see that we are incrementing our numbers one number at a time. Like we were on 1, then we went to 2, 3, 4, 5. But what if we want to increment our numbers from 2 or maybe 3 or maybe 4? What then? Like we can't go on and incrementing our numbers one by one. There might be situations where we need our numbers to be incremented by a large interval. So range function has covered us there also. Now I'll pass a third argument, 2. So now what this last argument means, it means the step, like how much my range function would jump. Earlier, when I passed nothing, the range function was jumping only one at a time. Now my range function would jump two at a time. So I'll get 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Let me write this above as a comment. Range, start, end, step. So this is how the range function works. It can take three arguments. The first one means the starting point, the second one means the ending point, and the third one means the step by which amount or by which number the my range function would jump. Is it clear? Is it clear to everyone? Let's now move on to some difficult things. Yes, superb, superb, superb. Okay, so now I want someone to tell me the output of this. What will be the output of this? Yes. I'm starting from 10, I'm going till 1, and I'm taking the step of minus 1. Look carefully. Earlier, I was starting from 1, going till 10, and increasing 1, 1, 1, 1, right? But right now, I'm starting from 10, I'm going till 1, and I'm increasing, oh, sorry, I'm decreasing 1, 1, 1, 1 every time. So when I print it, I'll get 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, there's no 1. Samek, there's no 1. Because if you remember, our range function does not include the ending point. Range function does not include the ending point. It includes the number up till ending point. If you can see here, yeah, yeah, till 2. It will print only till 2. Superb, superb. So now, what if we let's say this is my name, right? And I have to print my name in reverse order. Now, can we do this using for looping? I have to print Bahsir. Now, to do that, let's say I write a loop for, and the words that I'm using here, character, I, these are just variable. You can use anything, like anything, literally anything. You can even use this thing. Okay, so let's take it this for I in in range. Okay, before that, do you know the function length? The length function. If I do this, the output would be 6. Because what is the length of R? It contains a string. It contains a string which has 6 letters in it, right? So the length of R would be 6, right? Is it clear? If I do this, now what would be the length? I've also included my surname. What would be the length output now if I run len of R? Yes, yes. So now what would be the output now? I've also included my surname. 13, exactly. It also counts the spaces. That's what I wanted to tell you through this. The length function, if you pass a string in it, it will also count the spaces. Yes, nice, super. So we can also pass length in the range function. See, what is our aim? What is our objective here? Okay, let me just write our objective very clearly. So print my name in reverse. Okay, so what is my approach here? Like, first of all, I would like to know what is the length of my name. Okay, if I know the length of my name, then I'll start the for loop from that ending position, and I'll go on decrementing one by one, and then I'll stop. So this is my approach for printing my name in reverse order. So now that I know that length of my name is, let me call it, length is equals to length of R. So for I in range th, So for I in range length, if I do this, you all know about string indexing, right? I taught you this thing earlier. If I do r of 0, it will print r. If I do r of 1, it will print I, right? So now if I do this, let me remove my surname so that the string becomes small and it is visible. If I do this, it will print RISHAB. Is it clear to everyone? Because things will get a bit tricky after it. Is it clear? Like how I printed my name using string indexing. Earlier, what I did, I used for character in R. I did this, right? Last time I did this. I was using character in R and I was printing each and every character. But this time I'm using string indexing. Okay, so Abhinav, what happens is when we have a string, let's say we have a string of Abhinav only. Okay, and suppose I want to print the first letter. So what is the first letter? The first letter would start from the index 0. In computer programming languages, counting always starts from 0. You'll never start the counting from 1. It always starts from 0. So if I do r of 0, it will print A. If I do r of 2, what would be the output of enough? If I do r of 2, 0, 1, 2. So it will print the third letter. What would be the third letter of enough? H. Yes, exactly. See, so now that you've now that I've understood string slicing and string indexing, what is happening here? Length. So what is the value of length here? Okay, first of all, let me. We all know that length is 6 here. Okay, so I'm passing for I in range length. It means for I in range 6, and we know what would be the output of this thing. Okay, so if I look at cell number 31, for I in range 6, print I will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, clear? But if I do this for I in range length is also equal to 6, right? Length is also equal to 6. And I print the R of I. I'm printing that string by using string indexing. Okay, so first I printed the 0th letter, then the first, then third, then fourth, then fifth, and then sixth. So this is what happened here. Are you clear now? Is it clear now? Is it clear, everyone? Okay, nice, superb, superb. So my aim was to print my name in reverse order, right? So how will I do that? Like I know to print the numbers. Is the stream still going on? Did anything happen? Okay, okay, okay. So so to print the numbers from 10 to 1, what I did, I used for I in range 10. For reverse orders, I used range 10 comma 1 comma minus 1, right? Right. So now that I have to print my name in reverse order, it is clear that the step would be minus 1, right? We all know that step would be minus 1. Exactly. Because we have to go in reverse order. So now what will be, and we all know the ending point would be 0, right? Because we have to reach the first letter, and the index of first letter is 0. Now my question is, what will come here in the first parameter? Will it be length or will it be something else? The goal is to print my name in reverse order, and by using this for loop and passing the step parameter as minus 1, what should be the first parameter in the range function so that it picks up the last character of my name? What should be the value of, what should be the value of here? Yeah, what should come here instead of length? We know that length is 6, right? Length is equal to 6. So what should come here instead of length if I want to print the last character of my name? R of minus 1 would print the last character. I don't want the last character. I want the index. What is the index? Akshat, you are right. R of minus 1 would print the last character. I don't want the last character here. I want the index of the last character. What is the index? What is the position of the last character? It starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The index position of last character is 5. So I'll have to do a minus 1 here. Yeah, fifth is the position. Right. Right. So by doing a minus 1 here, I can see that when I run this loop, I'm getting till BAHI. Where is the last character? Why am I not getting the last character? Why? Where is the last character? Our loop ran from length minus 1 and it went up till 0, right? Up till 0. So it printed, let me also print the values of I here. Okay. So I was 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Akshat, if I, so what are you suggesting? What should be here instead of length minus 1? No, see, Akshat, you are not correct here. Length minus 1, we did that because we wanted to access the last character of the name. Okay, the index of last character was 5, right? And length is currently equal to 6. So what we would want is to start our loop from value 5, and it should run till 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. It should include 0. And to include 0, we all know that we have to change it to minus 1, because in our range function, the second parameter, that is the ending value, it's not included in the output. It shows up till. So if I run this, let me comment this one out. I can get my full name in reverse. So what is happening here? I'm running this loop from the length minus 1, which means 5, which is the last index. Okay, I am going up till minus 1. Up till minus 1 means it will also include the 0th index, and I'm decrementing each and every step. Is it clear? Did you get it? What we did here? Like how we actually started from the last index and we went from last index to the 0th index by decrementing 1 each and every time. Is it clear? Okay, superb. So let me tell you one thing. and you'll feel very, and you all will feel very frustrated about it. So now you would say, sir, we did this much amount of effort. We wrote a for loop. We learned about indexing. We learned how to reverse the range function and all everything. Let me tell you a shortcut now. Okay. Let's say the string is okay, and I have to print the reverse of it. Okay. So the shortcut to do that is this. If I'll run this, it will print the string in reverse. Magic. So we did all that effort in that above for loop, where we could have done it in just one single command. See, that's the beauty of Python. That's the magic of Python. You can do so much amount of work in just so much little code. I'll explain. See, it is actually a bit tricky. I'll explain you this thing afterwards. But for now, you can understand this thing that when I do this r of 0, it prints r, right? Let's say I do this r of 0 colon 3. It will print 0 1 2, 0 1 2. Got it? So the so that's the homework. That's the tricky part for you today. You'll have to figure out why r colon colon minus 1 prints the string in reverse. And this I have given you as hint. This is your hint. Like if we do r of 0 colon 3, it will print this much amount of string and this much amount of numbers, right? So that's the challenge for you today. You'll have to figure out why r colon colon minus 1 means it will print the string in reverse. You can use Google, you can Google anything, you can even check the answer online. But you just have to understand the crisp of it. Don't worry about the screenshots. I'll share the Jupyter notebook, but I don't know if you know, guys know how to open this Jupyter notebook. Like I can share this Jupyter file, but you must have Jupyter notebooks installed with you so that you can open it with Jupyter. We'll come to that. Don't worry. Yeah, this is your first assignment. Not as a formal assignment. I'll post the assignment. Don't worry. But this is the challenge. It's not an assignment. It's a challenge. Okay, it's a challenge to everyone. Like you have to figure out why colon colon minus 1 prints the string in reverse. Okay, so let's move on to some more interesting stuff. Up till now we have learned about looping, and we saw how characters are incrementing, what is happening inside the range function, and how the characters and how things are printing. So now a very basic question. Okay, this I did this question when I was in 11th class, when I was learning C++, and this was the very first question that I did after learning looping. Print the table of 5. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, 5 threes are 15, right? So we have to print the table of 5. How we will do it? So for I in range 1 comma 11, this is the hint that r colon 3 returns the first 0 1 2 characters. This is the hint. I have mentioned the hint here in the comments. Okay, so now we have to print the table of 5. Print 5 times. I'll do a lot of string formatting here. Okay, a lot of string formatting. Okay, let's see. So did anyone get it? Like what we did here? We all remember this print formatting symbols, right? This curly braces and dot format will pass the values, the order in which they are passed in it. So I did 5 times 1 equals to 5 times the value of I. And if you look at the range function, I'm starting from 1 and I'm going up till 11, which means that I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did you get it? How it worked? Like how we printed the table of 5 and how we use string formatting there. Yes, Python is great. Absolutely, Python is great. Yeah, Rajneesh, what is the question? Go ahead. Is this clear? Did you all get how we printed the table of 5? Is this clear? Okay, super, super. Great. So now if I tell you that you have to print the table of 7, we'll just change 7 here and 7 here. We have the table of 7. And I have never, honestly, I still don't remember the table of 7 completely. So this is a very nice trick to just get the table ASAP. Rajnish, PyCharm is an IDE. IDE is actually an application or an environment where you can run code of a particular language or a lot of languages. So if you are not clear about what is PyCharm and if this is your first session, I'd suggest that you go back to our first video and start from the very beginning so that you have everything set up and everything installed, and you can follow up with us in our in our next sessions. These sessions are here. These sessions are not going anywhere. You can look at them anytime that you want. Okay, so we are done with the printing of table. Exactly. uh, Rajneesh, I'd also suggest that you join our Discord server. A lot of people are there. A lot of students like you only who are in third. We also have students who are from third class. Okay, and they have also started doing block programming. So if you are in fourth class, I'd suggest that you don't do Python programming as of now. You go to our channel and you look for block programming. There must be a playlist of block programming. I'll suggest that you do that because Python would be a bit difficult for you if you are in fourth class. So you go back to the basics, you do start from block programming, and just after a month you'll be capable enough to just compete with all these other students who are of 10th or maybe ninth class. Don't worry, it'll just take some time. You are in fourth class, you have a lot of time with you. Don't worry, you are already ahead a lot of people. Okay, so now our goal is to print the multiples of 5, oh sorry, 7, 1 to 100. Good job, Akshat, good job. Like you guys have started this thing so early. I did programming when I was in college, and you have already started doing it in sixth or maybe eighth class. This is just so. I mean, I don't have words for you. You don't know how much value this will add to you. Sure, I'll send the tutorial for PyCharm. Don't worry, Abhinav. And I'll suggest that you use Jupyter notebooks for this series because Jupyter is a bit easier. Great, great, Sachin, great. Okay, so coming back to our uh, question, Rajneesh, you can contact me on Discord. So now we have to print the multiples of 7 in 1 to 100. How to do that? For I in range 100, Okay. So there are two ways to do this now. First way would be to check if I modulo 7 is exactly equal to 0, print I. So we learned about if in the previous session. and we all know that that division sign is the sign of modulus, like it will return the remainder. If I do 15 remainder 6, the remainder would be 3, because 6 twos are 12, and if I divide 15 by 6, I'll get the remainder as 3. So now I'm checking whether the remainder after division by 7 is exactly equal to 0. If it is exactly equal to 0, I'll print the number, and there it is. We have the numbers 7, 14, and everything. No problem, Rajesh, no problem. So this is the output. This is the basic approach, like what a new person would do. But now you all know about the step in the range function. We'll do this, and we'll make our step 7. Let me comment this out. Like now we know, right, what is the step function and how step function could be useful. So we are starting from 1. Let's just start from 7, because obviously 1 is not divisible by 7, and we'll increment our numbers from 7. This is our output is exactly the same. Yes, both the methods are easy, but there's a difference. If you run the first method, right, in which we are using if, that is slower. That is a lot slower, because you'll have to check for each and every number. See, if you get number 1, you'll divide the number 1 from 7, and then you will check whether it is exactly equal to 0 or not. Then you'll check with 2, 3, 4. See, so the first method is taking a lot of time and a lot of computer resources. But whereas in the second method, I'm just printing 7, 14, 21, 28. I'm just skipping by 7. Okay, so the second method is a lot faster and a lot better in that sense. Okay, so this was in the case of printing a number which is the multiple of a single number. But what if we have to print multiples of 3 and 5 in 1 to 100? What happens now? We have to print the numbers which are multiples of 3 and 5. So what could be some basic examples? We can also always include 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and 90, right? So for this also we can do this. If I mod 5 is exactly equal to 0, and I mod 3 is exactly equal to 0, print I. Yes, exactly right. We are using and we are using if. So we are checking if the number is divisible by 5 and the number is divisible by 3, we'll print the number, and there it is, right? Obviously now comes the second approach. If we do this, the output would be same. Yes, the output is exactly same. We are doing the same thing. We are starting from 15 and then we are skipping, and same goes for the above method also. If you remember, the first method will take a lot of time and a lot of computation, because it is actually calculating, dividing, and comparing each and every number. Okay, so that's why we are now using the second method. But what if I tell you now we have to print the numbers which are multiple of 4 or 3? Now what will happen? We have to print the numbers which are multiple of 4 or 3. So we have to check whether the number is multiple of 4 or the number is multiple of 3, and we'll have to print it. So we'll start with basic for I in range 1 comma 101. If I mod 4 is exactly equal to 0, or I mod 3 is exactly equal to 0, we'll print I, and there we go. What happened here? Oh, sorry. Hmm. Let me decrease this so that you can actually see this. Let's just do it for 30. There we go. So we have all the numbers who are using. Yeah, sure, you can use string formatting. There's no harm in that. So now we have checking whether the number is a multiple of 4 or the number is a multiple of 3. And if it is the multiple of either of them, then we'll print it. So now comes a very interesting question. In the above two examples, we did the questions with one more approach, and that was using the second method. Can we use the second method here also? That's the question for you. Can we use our second approach here also, in which we were manipulating the step of the range function? No. Why we can't use that? Yes, you are right, we can't use that, absolutely right. But why? Because when we are using range, and if we supply the step argument, the increments would be constant. It will increment at a constant rate. Here in the output, you can see that we are first incrementing from 1, then from 2, then from 2, then from 1, then 3, then 3. So the increment, the step count is not constant here. That's why we can't use our second method here. Got it? Right. Yeah, exactly, because it is changing at a random rate. Yeah. One more basic example. Print all odd numbers 1 to 100. So now we have to print all the odd numbers from 1 to 100. It's also very simple. For I in range 1 comma 101, if I modulo 2 is not equal to 0, print I. We have all the odd numbers now. Okay, so we have all the odd numbers now. And also we can use our second approach also here. We'll just do this. And also we have the same output. Got it? So like from these examples, I wanted that you guys should know when to use the step function and when not to use the step argument in range function. There will be some cases when using step would be beneficial, and there could be some cases where you can't use step in the range function. So this happens when our increment, when our step count is not constant. Then you cannot use the step, like in the above example, where we had to print the multiples of 4 or 3. Okay, so I guess that should be it for loops. I have done all the examples that I have thought for you. Yeah, so we are done with for loops. Should I start while loops now, or do you want while loops in the next class? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Should I start while loops now? Okay, 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 got it. It's actually, Abhinav, it's similar to for loop only. So the syntax of while loop is while condition and statements. So what I mean by this is, what I mean by this is, we'll use the keyword while and we'll supply a condition to it, and then we'll print our statements. So while, let's say that we have a variable of I is equal to 0, and we have to print the numbers from 0 to 100. This should seem a bit complex to you, like exactly right now, but let's just break it down. So now what will this do? We have our I initialized to 0, and our condition is I less than 10, and then if the I is less than 10, we will print I, and then we will do I plus equal to 1. So I plus 1 equal to 1 exactly, it means that we'll increment the value of I. It is exactly same as the flowchart that I showed you earlier in the video, right? Like, if it is less, like there's a checker. If it is less, it will go and print it again. If it is less, it is go and print it again. It will increment it and check again. So it is exactly like that. While follows that flowchart. There we go. We have our numbers from 0 to 9. I guess, no, it will print from 0 to 10. Oh, sorry, it will print from 0 to 9, because we are starting from 0 and we are checking less than 10. But if I have to make it 1 to 10, I have to do this. I have to change my I to 1, and then I have to include a less than or equal to here. Either I can do this or I can do less than 11. Both the situations will work. So this was just a trailer for you about while loops. I guess we should end this, and we'll continue with while looping and in the next class. And all the programs that we did today, all the programs that we did today with for loops, we'll do the same programs with while also, so that you will realize where to use for and where to use while. Because in for loop, you have more control over the loop. Exactly. Are you getting my point? Because in for loop, you can change the step size, you can change the range, you can change what are you accessing and everything. In while loop, there is just one condition, and that is going to be checked. I'll send the list of programs. Don't worry, that we did today. I'll try to even send the code, and you can always just pause the video and then type it again. That is a better practice for you. I'll recommend that, because then you'll actually get hands on and type the code yourself. So we'll start with while loop in the next session. Till then, is does anyone have any doubts in anything that we did today, anything at all, using for loops, print formatting, string indexing, anything? Let's just take some doubts. And yeah, cool. And above, Abhinav, sorry, don't worry. It's fine. Do it on the laptop. Don't worry. It's fine. I just want you all to type each and every statement that I've typed today, so that you can get a gist of it. You can get a hold on your typing and programming skills also. So, is there any doubts, or should we end this session and uh, prepare for while in the next session? Cool. Great. You all did a commendable job today. Very nice. Very nice. Superb, superb. You all did a very commendable job today. You understand each and everything. And this took me, like I started this in 11th, and it took me a lot of time to understand all of these things. And if you are able to understand them now, it's very useful to you. Trust me. You are gaining a lot more experience and knowledge that will help you in your future. Okay, guys, it was a great session. Great session, guys. Great session. Oh, nice session. So we'll meet next time. We'll start with while looping, and I'll also teach you nested looping. Nested looping means loop inside a loop. Don't worry about that. It's not that tough. It's just it's very simple. Then we'll move on to data types. We'll start with lists and dictionary and everything. You can use Python book, but I don't think Python book. You're not at a level where you can understand things from Python book from your own. Like when you are learning your first programming language, you always need an instructor, because an instructor is very important when you are learning your first programming language. Once you have learned Python, you can jump to any programming language, and you can learn that yourself, because you have to build your you know logical ability to understand what is happening. Abhinav, don't look after a book. You're not at a level to understand the things from a book yourselves. Every time you learn first programming language, you need a mentor or a guide to help you out. Yeah, but C is also, not that user friendly. Okay, no problem, guys, no problem. Yeah, C is actually the mother of all languages, but it's not that user friendly, and I won't recommend it as your first programming language to learn. Python is very easy, very basic. It has all the concepts of C. You can do everything that you can do in C and even more. So right now, focus on Python. Just get a grasp of your any one programming language, and then you can jump from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. It's not a big deal. Just get your grasp on one programming language. Okay, guys, then I think I should end it. Goodbye. It was fun. Today's session was fun. We did a lot of things. Next time we'll start with while looping and nested looping. Goodbye, guys.